Since the 1946 bombing in Japan, nuclear power has become much more popular and relevant in this world. I'm Adam Schwartz, and along with Spencer Cutro, we will explore the exciting world of nuclear power. What is nuclear power? Nuclear power is the energy locked up inside all atoms, but we can only harness just a small fraction of this in just a few elements, such as uranium. What we do is we refine the uranium, and then we get neutrons, and we fire them out, releasing the energy.
As of 2006, only 6% of the world's energy comes from nuclear power. Some of the biggest users of nuclear power are France, Lithuania. South Korea also uses very much nuclear energy.
Well, there's a few geographic issues that go along with nuclear energy. First of all, there's only a limited amount of uranium in the world. We can only dig up so much. This is kind of like fossil fuels. But, of course, uranium yields much more energy with much less pollution. And this uranium isn't just in one place, it's all around the world. As seen in this map, there is 23% of the world's uranium is in Australia. Most of the uranium in the United States is in the southwestern states, by Arizona and Nevada, and that whole area. And also another point is that not all countries use all the uranium that they have. They just don't have the resources to refine it, because the refining process is just so complex.
There are many political issues surrounding the topic of nuclear energy. This is because the same substance that is created through the refining process of uranium is also used by many countries to make nuclear bombs. This form of uranium, U-235, is also used to make nuclear weapons, otherwise known as WMDs, which are being researched by Iran and North Korea and are a big danger to the United States. The UN has been trying to make limitations since 1946, after the United States dropped atomic bombs on the two Japanese cities of Nagasaki and Hiroshima. The UN has sought in recent years to ban nuclear testing in countries. Though there was a pact signed in 1996 by all UN countries, this law to ban nuclear testing has not yet went into action.
The economics behind nuclear power can get quite complicated. First of all, when the Yucca Mountain National Nuclear Repository opened in 1998, the government estimated that it would cost $34 billion to make. But instead, when it was finished, it took $58 billion. It takes about $2,500 to process 1 kilogram of raw uranium. However, nuclear power is quite cheap compared to other ways of getting energy. It only costs about 1.87 cents per kilowatt. This is cheaper than coal, oil, and gas. It is estimated that if there were an accident at a nuclear facility, that the cleanup would cost $650 billion.
There have been many questions raised about the environmental damage of nuclear power. One of the biggest problems with this is where to dispose of the radioactive fuel rods after they have been used to harvest energy. These rods are placed into a nuclear pool where they must sit for 50 years before they are even safe to be buried. One of the worst accidents in nuclear power history was in Ukraine, known as the Chernobyl power plant disaster. This accident, caused by a meltdown in the nuclear reactor, killed less than 100 people, but it caused hundreds of thousands of cancer cases and birth defects.
The future of nuclear power. Some experts agree that if a lot of money isn't put into nuclear power in the next few years, that quite possibly the use would just drop and become outdated.
Scientists are looking to develop ways in order to harness the fusion created by this reaction and harness much more energy out of it and be able to use it a lot more efficiently.